Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and it seems that my video the other day sparked the interest in what my actual disability and medical issues are, because some people know because they've seen my older material on this. So I'll run it by you guys briefly just again, because I may not re-upload that old video to this new channel. But I have suffered my entire life with inner ear issues. My eardrums blew out from infections when I was 4 years old. And I was deaf for the next 3 years. So from the age of 4 to 7, I was deaf. I got my hearing back in my right ear, and then I had surgery in my left ear when I was 13 to restore my hearing. So several of the bones, the stipes, and my eardrum in my left ear are completely artificial. I also developed Meniere's disease in my left ear later in my teens, which is the same medical condition Dana White with the UFC had. It seems to have had his cured with stem cells recently, which is something I really want to look into myself. And I did well with that. I functioned quite effectively with that issue. I earned black belts in 2 different styles of martial arts with it. I did bodybuilding, I did powerlifting. I was able to function extremely well, despite having this issue, until I got into my early 30s. And then my condition exacerbated. When it spread to my right ear and it went bilateral, they got so bad that for a good period of time, I couldn't walk without getting vertigo attacks that would drop me to the floor. Or a lot of times I would get up and try to walk across a room, and they would get so bad that I would actually vomit. And I ended up spending something like 10 months in bed because of this. And during it, I had a 3-year period there to where I was not allowed to train. It was also during that time period that I met my wife online, and despite me being so debilitatingly sick, we still got together. And she would make trips over to the US to see me all the time. And we eventually got married, and that's why I'm in the United Kingdom. But I have only had medical clearance to start training again a little over 2 years ago. And of course, it's really amusing to me when I get comments from people saying that, well, you haven't really made very much progress for someone who knows so much about all of these different topics. You don't have very much muscle mass, when I've put on around 50 pounds of muscle in 2 years' time. And no, obviously I haven't done that all natural, because it would be biologically impossible, even with muscle memory, to gain muscle that fast natural. It is completely biologically impossible for a human to do that. But here's an example. I'll show you guys a before and after. Those photos are around 3 years apart. The one on the left, I was 275 pounds. That was about 6 or 7 months before I got permission to start training again. And the one on the right, I am 216 pounds, and that was taken just the other day, and that's a snapshot from one of my videos in the park the other day. So that's 59 pounds lighter in the right picture. And you can't see it with me sitting in the first one, but my waist is around 44 or 45 inches in that first picture. And as far as what I still have, yes, I still get vertigo drop attacks. I sometimes do fall down when I'm walking. I occasionally fall down the stairs of my flat, which is fine because I've got enough muscle for padding, and they're all carpeted, so it's not that bad if I end up taking a tumble down the stairs. I have about 50% hearing loss, and I have undulating hearing, so I tend to miss about every 4th word people say. So I've had to become very proficient in lip reading. I have continual tinnitus, so I have a ringing in my ears, and it's in both ears that never goes away. And I have no sense of balance medically. So I'm not supposed to be able to walk in a straight line, but as long as I can see, I can do so. But if I close my eyes and I try to stand up, I'll eventually fall down, because I actually have no sense of balance. And it's kind of funny when I mention it to people, people say, well, there's the techniques you can use to get more balance. And I try to explain to them that that's like telling a blind person that you know techniques to improve their vision. I actually medically have no sense of balance or motion at all. So I can't feel my head turning right now, other than the muscles moving. So that's basically what my medical condition is at present. And I've simply learned to adapt and overcome. I'm not supposed to be able to function as well as I do according to all of my MRIs and laser balance tests and everything my doctors have done. I function about 10 times better than every single test says that I should be able to. And it's not that my medical condition has improved, it's that I have just fought back hard enough against it to overcome it and just deal with it despite having the problems. And again, that's another reason I get angry when people give me excuses as to why they can't train, or they can't do these different things related to fitness. That really kind of pisses me off because I see them as just lazy. Unless they really and truly have a legitimate excuse, like they have a herniated disc and they have spinal fluid that leaks out of the side of their spine every time they do a heavy deadlift. Or they're missing both their legs. Okay, that's a free pass, but anything short of that, I just simply don't buy people's excuses. And also, since inner ears and sinuses are linked together, I've also had sinus problems my whole life, and so a lot of times when you guys hear that heavy breathing that I'm doing, it's because I struggle to breathe through my nose. And so you're hearing me re-breathe through my mouth to catch my air after talking sometimes. So hopefully that answers everyone's questions. I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you next time. But let me give you guys a bicep shot first.